I just did something so crazy, so unthinkable. I think I'm literally the 0.1% of people who played this game, or less. I played one save file of the Pikmin 4 demo for 12 hours. And thanks to that, I was able to find out a lot about the demo, including the fact that once you reach almost 6,000 Sparklium, Russ, the engineer, has an item called the Rush Boots that make you run twice as fast. Also, they didn't think anyone would break the demo like this, so there's literally no video for the Rush Boots when you go to buy them. It's just a black screen showing you nothing. But I can tell you right now, the Pikmin 4 demo was actually extremely fun. I really like Pikmin, a little bit too much. So I set out on this journey in order to find out how much Sparklium, how many Pikmin, how much ore, how far can I go in the Pikmin 4 demo before it kicks me out from getting past the Sparklium limit. So if you haven't played the Pikmin 4 demo, the way that it works is once you reach 1,500 Sparklium from turning in treasures or what have you, then at the end of that day, it will kick you out to the main menu. You can come back in, but you can't go any further in the game. That's where the demo limits you. But surprisingly, I found out that a lot of the game is actually included in the demo. So if you do find a way to get your Sparklium higher, you can actually unlock late game items from Russ, the engineer. And that makes me wonder what other files are hidden in this game that we can't access, in the demo, I mean, specifically. Additionally, it's important to know that this progress gets carried over to the full game when I buy it later this month. So with that in mind, I didn't feel like a total idiot wasting 12 hours of my life to find out, for all of you, what happens if you push the limits of the Pikmin 4 demo. The adventure started off like any other playthrough of the Pikmin 4 demo, but quickly diverged where I went into every single cave and beat every single cave without grabbing any of the treasures. So getting every single thing, but skipping only the treasures in every single cave. I also cleared the map of any obstacles, built any bridges, collected ores, beat the Dandori battles, and rescued every single rescuee on the map, which does nothing towards kicking you out of the demo. All that matters is the Sparklium limit. After doing all that, I also grabbed the blue onion, which you can actually get in the demo, and then I farmed up about 100 blue Pikmin, which later on became 400 blue Pikmin because they're my favorite ones to use. I had a strategy in mind. I knew exactly what to do because I'd already played this demo once. I had found a loophole in the system, a hole in the matrix that I could take advantage of in order to break the demo and push it beyond its limits. But since my progress gets carried over to the full version, and because I also actually wanted to test out the things that I unlocked from Russ the engineer, if I do this, first, I needed to collect about 1,000 ore. I felt like 1,000 was a safe bet, so I just went for that number. And thankfully, there's a renewable source of ore in this first region in the Pikmin 4 demo. There are these little holes in the ground, and you throw Pikmin in. There's 10 ore in each one, and they respawn every day. Well, it turns out there are 6 of these total on the map, and I made a farming route. So every day, I would go from one to the other and get all 6 of those and get around 60 ore per day, then end the day and then start a new day. And I did this until I was around day 20 and I had 1,000 ore. Additionally, at the end of each day, while I was waiting for Pikmin to come in, I'd throw some Pikmin on the flowers and farm up more Pikmin to keep adding those numbers since it's going to carry over to the main game. You know, I really wanted to see if I could hit 1,000 Pikmin, which, by the way, I hit over 1,200 Pikmin, actually. But the ridiculousness doesn't end there, so if you unlock the blue Pikmin, it will actually let you get access to the ultra spicy spray. You can farm this using these 2 weird flowers that are across the water in the middle of the map. And what I would do at the start of every day is take 10 blue Pikmin and then go run over there and throw 5 on each flower. And now what was really interesting is the way these things work. If you throw 5 Pikmin on them, they'll knock all the fruits down, bring them back, and then they'll go back to the plant and just wait. And that plant will refresh multiple times per day. So at the start of every day, I'd throw Pikmin over there, and then I'd go get all the ores, I'd come back, and I was also farming Ultra Spicy Spray while farming my ore for the end game so that when I play the full version, I'll have this crazy amount of stuff. Which, by the way, I ended this whole ordeal with 67 Ultra Spicy Spray, which is absolutely crazy. But none of this has anything to do with the Sparklium, which was honestly the most interesting part of this whole story. So there is a trick that I found out about during the demo, which is when you 100% a cave, it makes it so every time you re-enter that cave, the enemies come back. I also found out that if you bring the enemies back to your ship inside of a cave, instead of giving you more Pikmin, it gives you Sparklium. So because of that, I was able to clear a cavern right by the start called the Hectic Hollows, something like that. I don't know, I have the name wrong. And then after that, I had about, I don't know, was it 600, 700, 800 Sparklium, something like that. I think it was 700. Then I was able to sit there and re-enter the cave over and over and over again, farming all the enemies on the sub-level 1. And each time I'd get 22 Sparklium, and I'd go out and go back in and repeat the cycle. And then I farmed that for, I don't know, maybe it was like 45 minutes, an hour, something like that, and got myself to 1,496 Sparklium, just short of the turning point where it kicks you off the demo. Then I proceeded to the final day that I had set up for myself. So I had all the treasures in the middle. I had started up on the mountain. I came in on the final day, completed the caves, went to the middle, got the treasures, turned in the treasures, and then I went to the remaining caves, finished those as fast as I could, so I'd have as much time left as possible to farm out the Hectic Hollows for Sparklium. And I was able to get there with more than half the day left, and I had an insane amount of Sparklium already at that point. Then for the horrible grind, I sat there for about 2 hours of gameplay, entering this cavern, killing the enemies, bringing them back as fast as I possibly could. And after 2 hours, guys, I had 5,700, almost 5,800 Sparklium. And you know what the worst part of this whole adventure was? I missed the potato. I had dug up the potato. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a potato on the map, the Sun-Speckled Terrace. There's a potato that you have to dig up. But because you have to dig it up, it's different than the other items. And so I had dragged all the items back to the middle, and the normal items will sit there for about, I think, 5 days, and then they'll go back to their original spots. But because the potato was originally fully buried, it was different than all the other items. And when I brought it back, the next day when I went to go pick it up, it had reset it, and I did not notice. So I missed the potato. Also, I could have gone faster on the enemies by a little bit. I think I could have hit over 6,000 Sparklium in this demo. The only issue is I don't want to play for another 12 hours to find out, which is unfortunate. But I would definitely do that if this video gets enough views. But as for what did I get? There were so many items. There were proximity mines. There were rush boots, which lets you run like twice as fast and lets Oachi run twice as fast. There was armor that makes you immune to electricity. There was armor that increases your defense. There was a second set of armor that increases your defense. There were all sorts of crazy gadgets. There were the bombs from Pikmin 1. There were ice bombs. There were so many interesting items that I cannot believe they included in the demo files. And it makes me so curious to try to push the limits and find out how much further we can go. I don't know if we'll be able to hit 7,000 Sparklium, but I have another way to farm what I did with the enemies in Hectic Hollows. And I need to do some testing to see if one of the other caves, there's one other cave that could maybe potentially be faster, but I'd have to test it. But if I can find a way to speed up what happens in the caves, I wonder if I could hit 6,500 or maybe even somehow hit 7,000 Sparklium, because I got 1,600, almost 1,700 Sparklium just from killing those enemies on the final day. So if I push that even further, I might be able to get even more. And I definitely think I could hit 6,000. But now the question is, can I hit 6,500 or could I hit 7,000? And if so, what else will we unlock? What else are in the files? I don't know what the late game is in this game. Is the game capping out around 10,000 Sparklium? When is the last upgrade from Russ? Is this game going to be going into the tens of thousands of Sparklium? We don't know yet because it's only the demo, but I am so curious to find out. And I really hope this video gets a lot of views so I can justify spending another 12 hours grinding it out, because I have a lot of strategies in mind of how to push the limits even further. I just need justification to go and do it. But I'm going to be on vacation for about a week, and when I get back, I'll see how this video does, and if it does good enough, then I'm definitely going to go back and do it again. Because honestly, the challenge sounds really fun. I enjoy games like RuneScape. Not that this is RuneScape, but I don't mind games where it literally takes me 100 hours to gain like 3 levels in a skill. So this kind of challenge is right up my alley. I love Pikmin. I really look forward to doing it again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope a lot of people watch it so that I can justify pushing the limits further and finding out what other items we can find in the demo of Pikmin 4.